Hi guys, so this is going to be my Kyle Filipowski breakdown. I watched three of his high school games on film, and I just want to talk about it. My predictions for him this year at Duke, and then just maybe even draft expectations after that. So first, I just want to tell you who Kyle is really. He went to Wilbraham and Monson Academy in Massachusetts. He's originally from New York, but he transferred like twice, I think, before he got to Wilbraham and Monson. At Wilbraham Monson, he played with his twin brother Matthew, who's also a big man. He's going to Harvard this year. They're both freshmen. In high school, Kyle was listed at like 6'10", 6'11", and around 220. So it's nice that he's officially a 7-footer and 230 on Duke's website. Grew a little, put on some muscle. That could never hurt. And he looks slim on Duke's social media, which is good as well. So as you can see, he had a really good high school career. He transferred to Wilbraham and Monson as a sophomore. And then junior year got cut short because of COVID. That sucks, but they still went 5-0. Senior year, they went 24-3, almost won a state championship. He averaged 19 and 11, so he had a really good high school career. He was balling. Then in EYBL, he played for New York Renaissance, and as you can see, these are 8 of his games from his last AAU season. He knows how to score. That's kind of going to be the theme of this video. Put up 19, 17, 20, 17, 11. He just knows what he's doing on the court. I wanted to start this video by talking about his offensive game. He is a really good offensive big. He's obviously a 7-footer, he's 230, and he uses his body. Not only is he a good finisher around the rim, but he can shoot. He's a really good three-point shooter. He's going to be really good in pick and rolls and pick and pops for Duke. So as a support big, he's really good. But if he grabs a board, he has no problem just taking it up in transition. He has really good vision. Even half court wise, if you give him the ball in the elbow, mid post, he's a great passer out of the mid post. So overall, he's very talented. Can shoot, finish, pass, like dribble. He just kind of does everything, and I'll show you why. I have all the clips from the three high school games that I broke down, so I'll show you all of those offensive clips I have, so you can kind of just get to see who he is as an offensive player and what he does. I want to let these play through, but also comment on some of them. Like I was saying, overall, he can kind of just do anything. It's just a face up bucket. Like I was saying, getting the ball in transition, going to finish, he does that. Another kind of face up bucket where he shows his handle. This is mid post passing, like I was talking about. Just one dribble spin, finally got open in the corner. Another example, handling, and then 7-footer pulling up water. And then this is another aspect of his game. I don't know how much he'll be doing this at Duke, like being the primary ball handler, but he's shown in high school. That's against Derek Lively right there. Like he can do it. And then obviously he's a 7-footer, easy dunk. Full court, transition, good pass, should be a three. Another good finish using his body. It's another just ISO great pass. Driving and finding his brother wide open. Nice getting involved, crashing the boards, put back dunk. Another great like elbow pass, wide open bucket. Face up, just go up. He's bigger than everyone. It's easy. It's too easy. This is nice. Gets the pick and just pulls up. Water. Like I said, he's a great shooter for a big. And then I included this just so you can see his free throw stroke. It's just so nice. He's the upside to be a great shooting big man. On offense, as long as he's getting involved in the play somehow, whether it's cutting, setting a pick, rolling, or like here even ball handling, like he's just very good if he's involved. He can do everything on the court. See, he missed, but he crashed, gets his own board, and goes up. Another primary ball handler, just making moves. Good pass. He cuts to the basket, gets in position, and then that's an easy putback. Another great vision. assist. And then this is a great play in transition, just finding his open guy and going up for a dunk. Another, like I said, crashing the board, bad shot, but put back dunk. And then here, like I was saying, I don't know how much I'll be doing this at Duke, but getting a board and just going up the court, great vision, easy dunk. And then 7 footer, he can just dunk anything around the rim. So now that you know what he brings on the offensive side of the ball, I want to talk about his defense. I want to first show his good defensive clips because he does have potential to be a good big defender. Obviously he can block a lot of shots because he's huge, but he's also, as you saw on offense, he's fast for a big. So he's fast enough that if he gets brought out on the perimeter, he's able to shuffle his feet, stay in front, and he has all of the physical tools that you really need. Big, he can jump. He doesn't have great vertical, but he can block shots. And then, like I said, he's quick enough that he can switch out or maybe even guard a smaller four, smaller five, and just stay out on the perimeter. So, yeah, first I want to talk about his good defensive clips from the 3 games I watched. Kind of just want to let these clips play through so you can watch him. Watch his footwork in the paint and the perimeter, watch him shuffle on ball, and then watch his shot blocking because obviously I think his shot blocking is his best attribute right now on defense. And overall, he just has all the physical tools you kind of need to be a usable to good and plus defender at the next level. And I forgot to mention that this clip right here is against Derek Lively, who, if you don't know Derek Lively, he is Duke's other big man in this recruiting class, and it's likely going to be him and Kyle as a starting front court for Duke this year. So this is Kyle playing defense on obviously a high D1 prospect. So you see what I'm saying? Whenever he stays involved and stays in a good position on defense, he can be a pretty good shot blocker. So this is going to be the most in-depth part of the video where I actually slow down clips, pause them, and explain them a lot more. Because sometimes Kyle Filipowski just shows not the best defensive instincts, you could say, when it comes to not helping sometimes, being out of position, turning away from the ball, losing his man, just all kinds of different stuff on defense, jumping at pump fakes, just stuff like that where he kind of needs to clean up his defensive game in order to have a much better shot of going to the next level. Because I think he has a easy NBA offense, but defensively is where he's going to be challenged if he doesn't improve. So yeah, I have a bunch of clips where I'm gonna just actually break them down and talk about him defensively, basically. Because, like I said, he has all the physical tools that he needs in order to be a good defender. Sometimes he just has, you could say, like bad judgment or like a little mental lapse where he turns his head, and he needs to clean stuff like that up in order to be a defender at the NBA level in the future. So there are some plays in here where he gets beat physically, like he gets beat on ball, he's not quick enough, someone cuts by him. But most of it is mental. Most of it is where he tries to make a play that's not there, or he just doesn't read the play correctly, and he kind of should impact the play, but he stays out of it. So yeah, I just want you to watch the mental side of the game mostly, the instincts, as well as his involvement, because that's a key for him on defense is to stay involved. Because sometimes he doesn't stay involved and he just lets the play go on without him, and obviously that kind of hurts his team. So the clock was running out, and this is basically like a buzzer-beating layup that this kid is trying to make. And for some reason, instead of contesting, Kyle just stays on the floor, even though, like I said, it's like a buzzer beater kind of thing. There's not much time left. So I feel like he would benefit just by going up and contesting, but he doesn't. And it's a much easier layup for this kid. Even though he missed, it's still one of those things where the clock's running out. You might as well jump and turn your body and not let him get that off. Here he gets caught ball washing and gets beat backdoor. I put this clip in the bad defense section because this is another one where he's just not involved. There's a missed shot and the ball is kind of in front of him. He should definitely fight for the rebound, but he doesn't. The guy gets it, hits his teammate, and then Kyle's just kind of stuck standing there under the basket. And then you'll see what happens. I left the volume on for this one. You definitely gotta fight for that ball and just try and do something on defense, you know? This clip is just kind of bad positioning. If you watch Kyle at the top corner, his man kind of curls around him and just gets in front of him for the offensive rebound. Kyle should definitely, push him, use his body, not let him get such good position because then the ball just falls right into his lap. This is kind of like an effort play. So in this play, Kyle is not guarding the center, who's Derek Lively, the screener. He's guarding someone else involved in the play, and his man starts at the free throw line. And as the ball handler basically cuts down, Kyle kind of gets stuck in help and just lets his man run out to the 3 point line. And this kid was a really good shooter. He already hit a three this game. So he kind of just lets his man run out to the 3 point line and he's just stuck in help and he can't really defend it. And the kid makes a 3 pointer. Here he just gets beat off the catch. You'll see here that the ball goes to the top of the key while Kyle's on the bottom of the screen on defense. And they pass it into the guy at the free throw line who tries to drive in. And as he's driving, Kyle basically turns his head away from his man for some reason, who just relocates to the corner and hits a wide open three. And Kyle didn't even really help the man who was cutting. He kind of just straight up turned away from his man who burned him. So in this play, Kyle helps too hard on the cutter and his man gets an open three. He ends up missing, but because Kyle contested so hard and kind of stays out of the play, it just lets his man get an offensive rebound and hit another shooter for a shot. Here he reaches and then doesn't get back involved in the play and just kind of jogs back on defense. Here he has a good intention of blocking the passing lane for the cutter, but in doing that, he turns his head and his man gets the ball and he's just not fast enough to get back and he gets beat off the dribble. And this is just kind of like laziness. After he contests, he just doesn't get back into the play. These are my overall grades for Kyle on both sides of the ball. I feel like offensively, he's really just not missing any pieces to his game. He can shoot, he can finish, he can create his own shot, face up. He can do a bunch of stuff. In transition, he's good. He can bring the ball up and pass. Overall, I give him a 40 out of 60 because I feel like he'll have a really good year offensively. Defensively, I've been saying that he has all the physical tools that he needs to be a good defensive big. He just needs to pretty much put everything together mentally when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. If he does that, he can have no problems defensively, but it's just going to come with making better reads, staying more involved. That's very important. As I've said, sometimes he just leaves the play when it comes to involvement, and that ends up hurting his game a lot. But overall, he just needs to improve the mental parts of it, and he'll be good. I gave him a 35 out of 60, and I think he can and will get a lot better this year on defense. The Duke coaching staff should help him a lot. I feel like Kyle Filipowski can be a really good versatile big for Duke this year. I could see him in a Sabonis type of role to an extent where he can do a little bit of everything when it comes to the offensive game. He can handle the ball a little, bring it up the court, initiate the offense. Just stuff like that, I feel like he'd be really good at. If they don't choose to use him like that, they can use him as a screener, which he could be really good at as well. His pick and roll game could be good. His pick and pop game could be good. He can catch and pass if he needs to. He can just do a lot of stuff on offense really well. And if he goes out there this year and puts up like 12 points, 6 boards, and an assist or two, and shows that he can play better defense and consistently improve on defense, I don't see why he couldn't be a mid to late first round pick next year, honestly.